All right, the final here tonight. Notre Dame wins it 85-60. Coach is with me here. It is our SunTrust Buzz Williams report. While it seemed like any time early the Hokies made a run, Connaughton made a big shot, or Notre Dame seemed to have an answer no matter what you did. What'd you think?
Yeah, I would agree with all of that. I thought it was. I thought we hung in there a little bit in the first half, and then I thought in the second half, too many uncontested shots by Notre Dame, and I thought we became somewhat offensive sensitive in the second half. We were wanting to make a shot, and from the shot, a derivative would be that we would get a stop, and it needs to be the other way around. At one point, I know they were shooting in the mid-60s, 60% in the second half, and I know that they're potent offensively, and that's why they're so good. But we became too discouraged too often in the second half.
You talked earlier about points per possession and how good Notre Dame is. You could see how that happens. They were really sizzling there for a while.
Well, it was I think it was 1.2 in the first half. I don't know what it was in the second half, but it was better in the second half. But yeah, we need to get some stops in a row so that we can get some baskets in a row, as opposed to taking it out of the basket every single time and having to generate something.
You know, there weren't that many turnovers, just 9 for the game, but they were all live ball turnovers, it seemed, and they got 16 points off those.
Yeah, we were better at not turning it over in regards to numbers, but the types of turnovers were in between half court and the top of the key, and it turned into a one-pass basket or straight to a basket after the turnover.
Yeah, Mike and I were talking to our fans. You can appreciate what it's like having seniors out there that kind of know what they're doing. You can tell.
I remember playing against those guys a long time ago.
Yeah, you can tell when guys have played 102, 103 games in a row.
Yeah, and you know those guys aren't coming out of the game, and coach has always been like that. Get 7.5, 8.5 really, really good players, and get 1 or 1.5 role guys that know exactly what they're doing, and then develop the rest of those guys in hopes that they turn into really good players. But Levin's a really good player. 22's a pro. Connington is a baseball pro. Zach August, if he keeps growing, he'll have a chance to be a free agent pro, in my opinion. But they play with one another extremely well. I mean, 19 assists on 29 baskets. That's great. 6 turnovers. I would say it was a 70 possession game. So they're under their single-digit turnover rate percentage. So those are all extraordinary numbers.
Yeah, that's the 12th time this season they've been under 10 turnovers.
Yeah,
so that's good.
It's just how they play.
Yeah. Hopeful for Bibbs' return Sunday. What do you think at this point, or do we know?
Yeah, you know, I studied all that concussion stuff when all that stuff was going on in the NFL, and spent a lot of time talking to different doctors. This stuff is really hard to diagnose. You know, like if you break your arm, they put a cast on it and they go, hey, you broke your arm. When you start talking about people's brains, it's hard to know. And I err on the side of caution just because I've done a lot of studies on that stuff, not just with concussions, but people that have other issues that are brain related. And I think you have to be really careful. And when it comes to a concussion, the longer you can go and not have another one, the more apt that you are healed. But when those concussions become too close together, that's why you see all those problems with those guys the older they get. And so he has progressed probably at the appropriate rate. I think he'll be able to do something with a ball in his hand tomorrow, and then we'll be able to tell on Saturday how he handled Friday. You know, like he rode on the bike on what day did we play last? Tuesday?
We played Sunday. At Chapel.
So he rode on the bike on Tuesday, and when he got off the bike, he was dizzy. So you know you ride on the bike, and you close your eyes, and then you open your eyes, and if you're weeby wobbly, then you're not.
He doesn't pass that test, so to speak.
Yes, and he didn't pass it. He was better on Wednesday, but I just didn't feel comfortable playing him today. Maybe he could have. He probably could have, but I didn't feel comfortable with that.
Well, hopefully we get him for UVA on Sunday. Coach, I know these are always tough. Thanks for coming by.
Thank you.